She's back.
She is back.
She's back.
Can you tell who she is when
Sabrina,
I just start talking?
I bet people, your fans, man, they know exactly.
They know.
Sabrina Carpenter, what's up?
Hello, what's up, Jojo? I missed you.
I've missed you. Have you, okay, so what's happened since the last time I saw, we were talking here, okay.
When was the last time I saw you?
God, 6 months ago, something like that. Maybe,
was it really?
Maybe soon.
Did I not see you in December at all?
Oh, maybe you did, yeah.
I think we did.
All right, are you, okay, I just got, recently back from Dubai. We were talking, off air here about, you fly around a lot.
I do.
And I've always thought that jet lag was just, I didn't think jet lag was real.
I've been actually in my head starting to think about getting a boat just because there's no other way to get to these places without being on a plane and just suffering. You know what I mean? I get off the plane and my skin feels like a raisin, like a dried up cranberry, one of those, like the dried up fruits. That's how my skin feels. And and I travel a lot, so I'm always on planes. And I was like, dang, if I just get a boat, it'll take a lot longer. I'll have to plan it out. Tour won't be as easy. It won't be like night after night after night. It'll be like one show a week, maybe. But I can make it work.
And I guess a boat would cure jet lag because time stands still, sort of, when you think about it.
And it'll rock me to sleep a little bit easier.
Maybe
right?
you could just do a big cruise and just bring fans on the cruise.
What if that's it? Yeah, I just do like a month-long cruise and just people can come on and off.
That might be that. We might have just discovered something.
I'm going to talk to my management. I think they're good with cruises.
We got a lot to catch up. Of course, music, of course, acting. She's been doing all this stuff. And you posted a video, an acapella for Sue Me on your Instagram the other day. And I don't think that, I don't know if the clip you posted had the extreme high notes in it, but it reminded me of how your vocal range is. You have a crazy vocal range.
Thank you, Jojo.
I mean, seriously.
I bet you do too. You just don't know it yet.
Oh, well, I'll work on that.
You just haven't honed in on it.
You haven't honed in
You haven't discovered it.
Do you have is this even possible? And I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Are you at a glass breaking level yet, or is that even a thing?
You mean like whistle tones and like a 5-octave range?
Yeah, I mean, where are you at?
I've been told by my vocal coach that I do. I think for me, it's about getting comfortable enough because I never want to hurt my voice. I'm that person that is very, very much like I care for my voice like it is a child, which it kind of is. It's like an instrument, so I never want to do too much damage to it. But I also have to keep stretching out those muscles so I can use them more organically whenever I want to. But yeah, I'm having a lot more fun in the studio now because I think there was this period of my life, especially when I was young. I mean, I'm still young, but when I was starting to when I was just starting to write and sing, that I was like, I don't really know what my range is, so I'm going to stay inside these walls. And then I was like, why am I doing that? There's so much I can do with just my voice alone that I've been discovering a lot in the studio recently, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, I don't know why I've never brought that up to you before, but it just hit me like, man, your vocal range, maybe you don't get enough credit. Maybe I haven't given you the credit. I don't know.
Well, I appreciate it. And that acapella video was something I wanted to do for a long time because when we recorded Sue Me, we recorded those choir vocals in the studio with just a couple of, with my producer Oak and our co-writer Steph. And so I was like, as soon as the song comes out, we have to do an acapella version. And the choir was amazing. And it was awesome. We barely had any rehearsal and we did it in a couple hours.
So you guys scroll her Instagram and check that acapella version. It's just I don't know, something about it just really kind of resonated with me. So there's that.
Thank you.
Sabrina, tour life. Let's
talk.
I mean, some people love it. Yay.
Yay. Some people
are like, yeah. And I've noticed most people, when they're on the road, they want to go back home. When they're back home,
you
they
always
want
what you can have.
Where are you at on this whole scale?
You know what? I have to be so grateful that I have metabolism still, and I have to use it to my fullest advantage. And also just be grateful for the fact that I get to see the world and get to see places that I probably never would get to. But most importantly, it is so wild to go to places that you've never been before, and people show up like they know you, they know your lyrics, they know everything about you, they know your favorite color, your favorite things. It is the craziest feeling in the world, and I also love my bus. I love being on the bus. And it's like something I always dreamed about ever since I was a little girl. Like, I'm gonna have a tour bus one day.
God, you have a tour bus.
I know, it's crazy. So there's times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't sleep and I'm dead. But most days it's so fun, and it's definitely a lifestyle. But I've gotten used to it at this point.
I forget who was telling me. Maybe it was Echo Smith, or I think one of the guys in Echo Smith has an app because you're on the bus so long, you don't know if it's day or night. So he resorts to an app that tells him if it's daytime or nighttime.
There's also windows on the bus.
Apparently that's what I asked him too.
There's also a clock on our phones. Most times I'm pretty good at dictating whether or not it is day or night.
That's exactly what I said to him. Like, how about a window?
But apps do the craziest things nowadays.
Good Lord. So tour dates for you, just check your website for all that stuff, obviously. And if you need to look out the window,
to see if
maybe he overthought that.
My goodness.
Good Lord. Give me a crazy road story.
Wow, crazy road stories. We've had just about all of them. Actually, no, we totally haven't. We've had so much luck being on the road, but there's been some times where where the bus has broken down or the bus has there was this one time where the bus definitely had a breakdown, crash moment, whatever. We had a lot of people to fit on one bus because we were on 2 buses. So we had a lot of people to fit on one bus, and then everyone else piled into this little tiny van and had to drive how many hours? It was like
way too many.
Like 8 hours to get to the show, and like barely made it. And like when you're on a show day, like you're on a tight schedule. You've got sound check at certain hours. You've got to be there to load in. You've got to. I mean, I don't do all that stuff. I do most of it, but I don't. Let's be real. I'm not loading in the equipment. I should be in 2019. I should be there for load-in, but I'm not. I'm not.
If you did, though, it would take somebody else's job. So you're creating jobs.
That's true, and I have to meet a lot of my fans before every show, so I prefer to do that rather than load in. But it was a very stressful situation, and you just got to make do. I say, like, life on the road, it's like, it's a lot of making do with what you have.
When the bus crashed or whatever happened, were you in the middle of just nowhere, like caw?
Usually always in the middle of nowhere.
Why
I don't think I don't know. I mean, they don't really put a lot in the middle of states. I'm not gonna lie. There's not much there. There's gas stations, which are helpful, because
and a little creepy at times.
A little creepy late at night, and you just don't know where you are, But yeah, life on the road is fun. You never know what's going to happen.
True or false, your Christmas tree is still up? Or...
True.
Really?
Very, very true.
I'm with that,
This woman on the plane next to me yesterday, this nice woman from Mississippi, she was such a doll. And she looks out the window and she hasn't been to LA a lot. So it's like nighttime and I'm landing. She's like, oh my goodness, it looks just like a Christmas tree. Doesn't it look so pretty? And I was like, what's kind of funny? I think mine's still up. And she was like, you're joking. And I was like, ma'am, I'm not joking at all. And it just reminded me of that.
I'm with you. I would keep my Halloween decorations up all year. Christmas, I'm in that. I mean, there's 2 different trains of thought. Take them down right after, or all year. I'm in the all year.
Taking them down right after is so aggressive. It's like no more holidays. Like I don't want that. I want a little more spirit in the beginning of the year. I think at this point it's excessive.
I think you leave your tree up, and that's just. They can just
I'm gonna
deal with it. All right.
I'm going to do it.
Let's talk about this. You did, I think, a Netflix movie called Tall Girl.
Yeah.
And you're done. The filming is done, right?
I just finished filming, yes.
You're exhausted?
I'm very exhausted. I've spent about a month in New Orleans, and New Orleans was a place that I didn't really get to spend a lot of time in before. I played shows there before, but it was like a drop in, and leave quickly situation. So I got to appreciate it a little bit more, and it is a wonderful, weird, strange, beautiful place.
I'm obsessed with the paranormal. Did you sense anything in New Orleans?
I think I'm a vampire.
All right, we have to discuss that
right.
later on. This Tall Girl Netflix show.
Movie, I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I will let everybody know when it is. And I have a film coming out in a couple months. But again, I don't have all the dates yet, but I'm excited to tell everybody because the last project that came out was The Hate You Give, and everyone was super supportive. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been bouncing back and forth. It's been great.
What I love about Tall Girl is I know I was told the lead actress is 6'1".
She is.
Tall girl.
Yes.
And of course, me and you are on the short side.
We are on the spectrum of short people. Yes.
So they have to cast a super short girl.
Yeah.
To play opposite of the tall girl, which makes her look taller. I'm guessing.
And
right?
It was so hilarious. Yeah, I'm her older sister. I you laughing is what people should do in the movie.
It's just okay. No idea when it comes out. But.
Not exactly, but it shouldn't take too long. I've heard with this one, it's hopefully going to be a quick. I say that, and then I'm completely wrong, and it's going to be 3 years later. Okay.
Hey, what movie did I called you up last year?
Yeah.
And you answered the phone during the middle of a take. What movie was that?
It's not out yet. It's called The Short History of the Long Road. It's not out yet, but that's the movie that's going to be coming out in a few months.
And is that really? I know you told me that, but you really answered your phone in
the
between
middle
takes.
Yeah, in the middle of the woods, by the way, and that was like very creepy. And I saw like a huge, massive bug when I was on the phone with you and tried not to scream. I remember that vividly because I was like, "Oh my god!" But I have to be professional, so I just ran while I was on the phone with you.
I just still find that crazy that was the director upset, like, hey, ready and action. Oh, hold on.
You know what? And I don't
Hey,
usually,
Jojo.
also the character like didn't have a cell phone. So that was probably not good of me to have my cell phone, but I knew you were calling. And so like, I was just, wait, no, I didn't know you were calling. Did I know you were calling?
I think it was a surprise.
I think that one was a surprise, but I think someone might have texted me before and just been like, hey, like just in case you're around, like Jojo might call you. And I'm like, I'm in the woods. what am I supposed to do right now?
And if I recall, the one other thing I'll leave, and I'll drop the story finally, but your cell phone reception in the middle of the woods
was
better than it is on the 405 freeway here in LA.
I would like to thank Verizon. I'm not getting paid for this. No, I'm kidding.
Good Lord. Sabrina Carpenter is here. Sue me, Sabrina.
Sue me, Jojo.
Sue me. Let's do it.
Honestly, like at this point, I've handled it all. Let's just go for it.
Get it on with. What do people need to know about Sue Me?
Sue Me. Honestly, it's a song that I was so excited when I first wrote, because it was obviously dealing with a lot of things in my life, but it was a song that I knew would relate to so many other people's lives. And just in that moment where, you know, it's, I think, useful in a lot of situations where you just want to kind of own everything that you have, your good and your bad, and just kind of move forward, whether or not people are going to like it or not. Because I think it's something that we're always dealing with. We're always dealing with people having their opinions. We're always dealing with people thinking you should be something you're not. And it's nice to just be able to be like, yeah, well, sue me. You know?
Was this about, no names required, obviously, was it about a specific event or person?
It was.
And, okay, once again, no names required. I love this part.
Legally, no names required.
No names required. But does this person or people know it was based or loosely based?
If they don't, they dumb.
Have you heard any reactions like, I can't believe they said this? Or...
No, I don't care. You know, that's part of putting the song out. It's very much like sue me. Like at this point, I really have to move on with my life.
I love this.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah. And it's something that like the song has given me that, I think, in a lot of times where I've needed it now, which is great.
Biggest crowd you've ever performed for, like a massive sea of humanity. Flip side of that, have you ever been booed?
Wow. So, okay, let's think about this. I would say one of the biggest, I'll do my two biggest crowds so far to date. One of them was, it was actually Ariana Grande's show in Brazil on the Dangerous Woman tour. I think it was Rio. It was, how many people was it? It was a stadium, so it was huge. I don't know.
Like
there was
60-ish.
Yeah, there was a couple thousand, you
That's
know,
a lot of people,
a couple few thousand. And then this Madison Square Garden this December at Jingle Ball. Which was however many Madison Square Garden can fit. And that was crazy.
And plus, that's Madison Square Garden.
Exactly. So just a moment in general, which was awesome. But have I ever been booed before? I haven't been booed, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I have been side-eyed and glared at, you know. I think that those, especially when you're opening for people, I think, and something that I'm always very conscientious about, because I've been on the other side, you know, where you're an opening for someone, or you are the headliner and then you have openers and people aren't so nice towards them. It's like, you're on the stage for a reason. And I think that that's something that a lot of people forget because they're just there to have a good time and see who they want to see. But it also makes you want to work a little harder to gain their respect and their love and affection. And I think it's, you know, it's all about feeding off of each other. Crowds, you know, can give you love and you've got to give them love back. So it's a very mutual kind of experience. That's why I love it.
The only time I've heard people getting booed is when you're playing, just like you said, when it's not your crowd, so to speak.
Right.
You know? So anyway, well, luckily you've never been booed, so good for you, Sabrina.
Very grateful.
I've been booed, and it's...
I mean, there's a first time for everything, so I'll let you know. Let's hope I'm not.
Your album, Singular, Act 1, you said it's a perfect representation of what you've become. Talk about that. What do you mean by that? Or did you say that?
Yeah, I did. Okay. Those are my words. I'm glad. Imagine you say something I've never said before in my life. I'm like, wow, that doesn't sound like me. No.
I've had that happen to me. Ugh, yeah.
I mean, imagine. No, I think that Singular definitely, like, and at this point now, it's, and I'm still evolving every day. It's been very crazy to me and super eye-opening to hear just how much a couple months can make a difference in the way that I think and the way that I sound and the kind of music that I'm gravitating towards making. And Singular, you know, I released in November, and these songs are like still my children, and there's still an Act 2 coming soon. But yeah, Act 1 was like all of these different moments of just like they're like little vignettes of moments in my life over the past 2 years that I was able to make into these songs that felt just very vibrant, like color-wise. If I look at them, they're just very colorful. And I think that was a sound that I never really got to explore before. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
In a weird way.
All I hear in the middle of all that you're saying is, this is working. And you're one of these artists that if I had to pick like who to watch out for, like Jojo's 2019.
Jojo's 2019, up and coming.
Up-and-comers, or I need to think of a snazzy title for that.
Okay.
But you're at the top, or you're on that list.
Thank you.
And just big things, not that you're not doing great right now, but that next level is coming, Sabrina.
Thank you
and
so
when it
much.
hits, it's going to go from 50 miles per hour to 120, and it's going to be ridiculous.
I'm going to be speeding down that highway.
It's going to be nuts. All right, hope that made any kind of sense.
You're the best.
Tour life and all that stuff. I'm mildly fascinated with the hotel alias thing.
Woo, mine's so good, but I can't tell you.
Well, clearly, so you have one.
Yes.
Do you have one that you have tossed out that you can kind of give me an idea of what you've used?
Yeah, so a while ago, because I've had my new one for a long time now, and I'm pretty proud of it. It makes people laugh every single time, and that's exactly what I wanted. And I want to land and have like a driver holding up a sign that says this name every time. So like you can imagine. But the one that I had before, I was a fan of the show Pretty Little Liars.
Right.
And there was this character named Vivian Darkbloom, and so I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be Vivian Darkbloom. Also, how scandalous! Like I don't know what it is, but she has secrets, and I like it. So yeah, I was Vivian Darkbloom for a little bit, which kind of just makes me sound really creepy checking into hotels, but I loved it. And then I changed it, and my new one, it is so good. I love it.
So the new one, you're not going to say. Okay, when people call up, if you don't know how this the hotel alias thing works, of course your friends, they'll just text you up.
Yeah.
But when somebody comes to the hotel, they want to, hey, can I speak to Sabrina? They'll check the.
He'll be like, nope, she doesn't. She's not here.
She's not here.
Yeah.
Can I speak
safety
to
thing.
Vivian Darkbloom? One moment, please.
One moment, please.
And
connecting you now.
And then they'll say, Vivian Darkbloom, they'll ask.
I have this person on the line for you, and I'll be like, yes, send them up. You know?
Why do I love that so much?
It feels like we're in a movie. I think that's why we all love it. We're just like.
I wish I had a reason to have a hotel alias.
Although there are times where hotels don't like alias names, because I'm like, no, I don't have ID that says I'm so-and-so. I just am, and you have to believe me. So it creates trouble for me sometimes as well when I lose my keys, and I'm like, no, I promise I am this person. I'm just messing with you. Like, there's a reason, though.
Oh, my God.
It's a little confusing.
I just can't get enough of it. All right, anyway. Hey, do you recall for lack of a better word, your first, oh my God, I might be famous moment? Do you recall that? Oh my God, it's getting weird now.
Wow. I went to China when I was around 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is crazy that it was this early on, because I don't think I actually was at this point in my life, but I started posting covers on YouTube when I was around 9. And there was this one cover that apparently in China exploded. And then when I went to China, I was there to perform on something. I was 10. And there was people coming up to me left and right. I think it was just because I was blonde. Not going to lie. When I was there, it was very much like I was taken aback, because I was like, why do you want pictures with me? Like, I don't know what I do. I don't even know who I am. I'm 10. So that was a crazy experience, because there was just a lot of people that would stop me on the streets. But I think a moment where I was like, wow, I don't know. It kind of was gradual. It was gradual, and then you never want to say that you get used to it, but now I think of it as like, oh, I just get to meet people like every 5 minutes now, like new people that otherwise, like strangers, usually when they don't know who you are, they're not as warm, all this, like
right.
In the beginning. They're not always like smiling at you, and so I'm very lucky that I get a lot of like nice smiles from people and hellos and and people wanting to like strike up conversations. I was at Chick-fil-A last night, and this guy's like, man, I just saw your film, and like I go to this school, and like I want to be an actor. And I was like, that's so cool. Like I love that I get to have conversations like that with people that I probably otherwise wouldn't.
So you don't do the or have you ever, and this sounds, I'm going to over dramatize it a bit, disguises. When it's time to just slip out undercover, you want to go not get noticed.
I'm really bad at it.
So you do like I'm not
hat
saying
and sunglasses, wig, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, if you go too far, like the sunglasses are too obvious, it's like, oh, that must be somebody that's trying to not be noticed, but she wants to be noticed.
And I think about that sometimes. I'm like, I guess it is nighttime, and I shouldn't be wearing sunglasses at this airport because people probably already think I'm sus. So yeah, I think I'm really bad at it. Like when I don't need it is when I have it, and when I have it is when I don't need it.
So you have at least at one point tried a full-on wig and everything, and
full-on wig I do more for fun, but it has definitely worked because in the French Quarter I was getting stopped quite a bit, and then I bought this wig. It was blue, and then I was like, automatically, it was like people look at me weird because they're like, "Is it? Nah, she doesn't have blue hair." that was great. It was awesome. I was like, yeah.
Weird question, Sabrina.
Yes.
Have you ever been mistaken for the wrong celebrity or been mistaken for yourself?
Yes, but why do you mean mistaken for myself?
Because I've heard stories where people come up and say, hey, you look a lot like Sabrina Carpenter.
When they do that, I'm like, I've been told that. It's like, it's this thing that I don't know how to answer because when they're like, you look a lot like them, it's like, so do I kind of also not look like them though? Like, is there a part of you that's like, it's not her, but it like similar features, you know?
So you get that? Does that happen often?
It does. And also people are like, is you famous? And I'm also like, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know, because to you, obviously, I might be, but also you don't know who I am, so I'm not sure if that. I'm not that famous. No, I mean, it's funny. I've gotten mistaken for the wrong celebrity a couple of times, and when I was younger, it was like, you know, it was like, you look like an Olsen twin. And then now it's like, oh, were you in that movie with George Clooney? And I'm always like, yes, he's so great to work with. Honestly, such a professional.
Who are they thinking?
I think it's this girl from the movie that they did, Tomorrowland, Britt Robertson.
Gotcha. Right.
And also anybody that's blonde, really, with eyebrows, I get mistaken for.
Do you ever just go with it and just take the pick as the person, or what do you do?
Absolutely.
Of course. You sign it like...
Because you don't want them to be sad either. It's like them being like, oh, I didn't meet them. Like, no, but you met someone that looks like them, so that's kind of cool too.
That is too funny.
You know?
I've heard somebody told me once that you look like so-and-so, but you look much better than them.
People come up to me too. They're like, wow, you're a lot prettier in person. And I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know what this means. But yeah, people need to work on their social skills a bit is what I've learned.
People are crazy. Let's just put it out there. All right, let's do a quick recap. Sue Me, of course, it's out. Get on this track. Singular Act 1. The album's been out for a minute.
We are on tour.
Tour, all that. Get them tickets. Check her site for details. Tall Girl coming out a little bit later on.
Films coming out this year.
Hotel Alias.
Alias names you're never going to know.
Have any of your fans ever guessed the Hotel Alias?
They have not, which I'm actually like, I don't think they will. That's the thing. It's a really good one.
Would you care to give a clue on what it is?
It's based off of a film.
Based off a film. So I guess if a fan figures it out, they can call up and maybe have a chat with you.
Yeah.
In theory.
If you do figure it out, whoever you are, it's going to be a nice chat we'll have with my security guard. I'm just kidding.
You'll be in jail.
You're going to have a great chat with my security.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you.
You, as always.
I love this girl. Sabrina Carpenter, at the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official.
Fist bump!
Bye.
Jojo's the best. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently.